SVG.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Explicit, boy.
And we're back with more Activated Mornings. Wait, how a song? I give you good vocal. I give you good vocal. It was dedicated to Roleza.
I am in no way a professional in this.
Roleza, no.
We have the professionals in studio who would be able to respond to you, not me.
As my future support. As my future number one fan. Okay, manager. I give you my voice. They have this joke where they say these guys would send a message and say, send me a voice note. I want to hear your voice. And they would ask, are you a producer? So I was giving you a voice. Yes, out in the young people world, we didn't say them kind of things. Anyway, people. All right. Okay, I have pulled myself together. All right, so this morning we are right here, Activated Mornings with Roleza and Dianna, and things are going in the studio nice this morning. We have some creatives right here with us. The song you heard me play before we come in is actually called Colo by Chill Bill, and who's here with us? Chill Bill himself. Yeah. So this morning we... This morning we have in studio with, apart from myself, the lady with the amazing vocals in SVG, we have as well.
Everybody's in so much in agreement with Dianna this morning.
Yes, it sounds heavenly. We have Chill Bill with us. Well, you may know him as Joshua Lewis. His stage name is Chill Bill. He is a singer and songwriter, but I'm not going to go into all of that. I'm going to let them tell you about themselves. Becoming like to do that. All right. We have as well Mr. Hayden Belingi. Hayden, you hear it loud and clear? Lovely. We have Mr. Hayden Belingi, who is also a singer and a songwriter, and Mr. Ackley Alton, our filmmaker. Ackley, that's the only title, filmmaker.
I'm a visual artist, I would say.
Yes, that is well. Okay, then. So when Ackley introduces himself, he will tell you all of those things so you know exactly who Ackley Alton is. All right. So good morning to you, men. All men panel. Good morning. I would let you introduce yourself. I don't know who to start with. Okay, Joshua.
Okay, so morning everybody. My name is Joshua Lewis, also known as Chill Bill. I'm an artist. Lewis and Force though. Like, I play music.
I forgot to say drum. Yes.
I play drums, keys, bass, and I do production as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my name is Ackley Alton. I'm a local filmmaker, visual artist. I mentioned I'm also an educator because I love to teach when I learn things. And I guess what I do is produce multimedia audiovisual content, and I try to focus on our local heritage. And I do it in a way so that it's a sort of like preservation device, and then it also gives me the ability to share it, across the internet or the metaverse or the world, because some of the films I've been producing have been making it to like video on demand services like Netflix. Well, not Netflix, one called the Criterion Collection, and also to film festivals across the world. So it's just the interesting thing, to find you could like package Vinci culture.
Yeah.
Send it.
All right. Hayden.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, very clear.
Awesome. So my name is Hayden Belingi, and I consider myself to be a serial creative. So I'm basically a singer-songwriter, but I'm also a director for music videos. I'm also an author, among other things. I'm also a consultant. I do work within the environmental space. So I am a developmental consultant who have worked for the World Bank, the UN, etc. So I consider myself to be very, very rounded. Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right. So this morning, our topic, I didn't tell you our topic. Our topic this morning is a conversation with creatives, new songs, films.
All right. So yes, ideally put on the headphones so that you'll be able to hear Hayden. Yeah.
Ah.
Some apologies there.
It's okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Hayden, they know who you are, right? It's the other listeners who
Yes.
didn't know, but they know who you are. All right. So we can continue.
I've been collaborating with Hayden for a while now.
Ah.
Why aren't you here in Boston?
He's not in the country.
Oh.
He's excused.
I apologize.
Yeah,
So
I'm not in the
topic-
country currently.
Go ahead.
No, I would say I'm not in the country currently, but Akli and I have worked on projects in the past. I'm still to work with Chill Bill, and I'm saying it here publicly, but hopefully we can collab on something in the near future.
All right.
He's like pie.
All right. So it's a conversation with creatives, new songs, films, and award nominations. All right. So we have some persons among us, some Vincentians that I think are doing something really great in that they're creating Vincentian. They're creating Vincentian music, creating Vincentian films, and don't worry, we're gonna get into all of that this morning.
I see you were
So-
like one of those children in school who teacher had to you had to stay in the frame. All right.
I can't believe I forgot to mention earlier though that Joshua is a drummer. I should have said that's your first thing because that's where a lot of persons know you from first, drumming. I actually saw you play drums, I think, when you were 8 in church. I remember that. Yeah. So Joshua, tell us about your new song, the inspiration behind the new song, everything that goes along with it. Oh, the name as well. I mean, I mentioned it, but you go right ahead.
So the new song is called Kolo.
Mhm.
Now, the meaning behind Kolo is crazy. It means crazy but mentally ill, right?
Mm.
So the song is really about somebody who, it could be anybody, but somebody who did you something wrong, but thinks you are crazy because you are leaving them.
Mm.
You know, so that's what the song is about. So the song is really saying, you know, you can't get me to come out of character. You can't really get me to lose my mind because you're losing yours.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's what the song is about. I really wasn't going to drop that song. I was going to drop another song called Bones. The real people wouldn't know because I was promoting it.
Mm.
But then I submitted it to an online reviewing with Timbaland, the producer, and he gave a really good review to that song specifically.
Mm.
So he said we need to like hurry up this process and get
You
it.
said
So,
Timbaland?
yes, please. Yeah. So we needed to hurry up that process. Use that as a marketing, you know. And yeah.
Lovely. Good decision. Good
Yes.
decision. Hey, Dad, tell us about your song, Papaya, Papaya.
Yeah, not giving up. So I pride myself in creating music that is inspirational and really to connect with an audience that is looking for something that can encourage them. That song came to me when I was going through a very difficult period during COVID-19 pandemic, and I was talking to my nephew from Trinidad, and we were just discussing about life and the crucial blows of life and how difficult it can be. And I heard myself saying to him, I'm not giving up, you know? And then I said to myself, oh my God, that is a good theme for a song. So I said to him, I'll call you right back. And then I started writing, Papaya, Papaya, not giving up. You know, and I wanted to convey that sort of emotion to encourage persons who might be going through difficult periods in their lives. Could be spiritually, could be financially, could be emotional, but never to give up, but always strive to stand up and just be counted and not giving up at all.
All right. And Akli, tell us about the inspiration. Well, we know that you have several. Well, some of us know that you have several films, but we're gonna speak specifically about the most recent, Madulu, which is being nominated. And tell us about Madulu and the inspiration behind Madulu. What inspired you to film that?
Well, I'm a Vincentian who grew up here with a creative ability, and I always sought it out to find a way to turn it into business, or to even just turn it into a profession, And I think we have lots of interesting cultural material, really important cultural material that's a part of all kind of conversations all over the world in museums, people doing seminars, and they speak of St. Vincent and the things that are here. And I often wonder, like, why doesn't these things resonate more strongly in the everyday of our reality? And as a person growing up, I guess I was born in the 80s, late 80s, just to give you context. So I feel like I transitioned from what they call analog to digital, and now to high speed internet, And in that communication between the local and the foreign, I find the Vincentians choose the foreign. And I wanted to take my journey, what I learned with art, and how to use it to reflect on things in a society. I wanted to turn my camera into a mirror and capture the society, and just reflect it back a bit, so we could see some of the things that might be interesting, local, 100% ours, and celebrate it, And I guess that's the core of what I do with every project. And Madulu de Siman is about barley. It's about sea shanties. During COVID-19, the sea shanties became a international trending global thing. Like, they came back to life, and it's interesting that barley wasn't really a part of that. Because,
Okay, so explain what sea shanty is. If I'm thinking what it is, but explain what sea shanty is.
Okay, so a sea shanty is a song that you sing when you're walking. In the case of barley, it's the songs that they sung years ago while they were rowing the oars to
Okay.
go catch the whale. And I guess the idea is you sing together, and then you walk together, and it makes you a kind of like, synthesis. I guess that's the purpose of the songs. The songs also served another purpose, which is before people in Barley had money to buy a motor engine, you'd have to go out there, catch that whale, and then row it back. So there's a particular song they would sing, and when they sang that song, the people in the community knew we catch whale. So
Okay.
somebody would go ahead with a rope, and people would come out from their house, and the whole community would come, and we'll start to heave. You're familiar with that image, right? You've seen images of people on the beach pulling seines together.
Right. But I've seen it, but not in a Vincentian context, which is, I suppose, interesting though.
Well, this is the interesting thing. That a lot of these things that I'm sharing with you is not my information. It's information I got from the elders in the community, talking with them, And there's this particular one, Mr. George Tall12 Fredericks from Barley. He's right now, he's known as the greatest whaler man in Barley. He
Ooh, Becker people not going to like that.
No, in Barley.
In Barley, all right.
All
right.
A whole different operation. And Tall 12 is like a legend, because what he's been doing in reality as his daily labor, or was doing, is go out there in the seas, fight with nature, and bring back food for the entire community and the entire island. And that's something that's heroic. It's something we should celebrate. And in a way, it's like an unsung hero there living in the community. And what he said to me is that life changed after the motor engine came, because the reason for the songs died. Now you don't need the community to come through. You could just get your speedboat and pull it up. And then the kind of solidarity that came, also changed, because people were like, well, my boat is my money. If you want meat, you have to pay. While before,
Okay.
everybody who went to
Mhm.
pull up was getting a small piece, just for, So it's like you see in the process of choosing things, even when we choose to upgrade our lives, we are also making a choice to release some things. And it's really that conversation there, what is the Vincentian supposed to hold on to, so that we stay Vincentian and not become the American dream in St. Vincent.
All right. In terms of your documentaries, where can they be viewed? Where can Vincentians view them?
Well, I'm happy to say from the 1st of November, this particular film, Medulla de Seaman, it's only 22 minutes and 4 seconds. Short film is on a very prestigious platform called Criterion Channel, which is a kind of like, it's like an artsy kind of cinephile kind of scene when it comes to documentaries and films, but it's like it's a really big deal. It's something I never even imagined, that I could have a project on, and it's really for the people who like treat filmmaking or cinema as an art form. So you'll find like the innovators are there, and it's not necessarily like a Hollywood kind of scene. It's not necessarily about that kind. It's a different kind of approach to filmmaking.
Okay, so not to stick on you too much, but I just need to ask this other question. What inspired you to go down the route of filmmaking as opposed to another profession? Because filmmaking isn't like a typical type of profession that a child would choose to get involved with, right? So what inspired you to go into filmmaking, as well as do you have intentions, or what would it take for us to see like a longer feature documentary? Because I'm a documentary woman, right?
Okay.
And what would it take for us to be able to see you do like let's say a full length, a half an hour, an hour? What would that take?
Well, I actually have a 45-minute documentary that's circulating right now called Sugarlands, and it was my first sort of like commission. Like somebody showed me and say, "Hey, can we hire you to make this project?" And the client was the University of Wales Trinity St David in Lampeter, UK. And if you don't know about that organization has like a sort of like historic connection with this valley, the valley that we look upon, which is the Camden Park Valley, and which used to be Camden Park Estates. One of the founders of that university donated money. Well, the owner of Camden Park University in 1833, when emancipation happened, when the white people got paid, he took that money and donated it to creating the university. So the university is like 200 years old, but its foundation is from Camden Park and Vinci Sweat, So the people in Wales, because of the kinds of conversations they have there in terms of like reparations and correcting legacies of the past, and especially after George Floyd and they pulled down the statues and all of that, this university too wanted to correct its wrongs, and it did so in two ways. It gave us, I think, about £1 million in scholarships. A lot of our students went there. I think they're just graduating. There's still some there who are still actively a part of the courses. And they also started to explain their story, but not explain their story from their point of view. Empower the community to explain the story, And so that film is called Sugarlands. It recently showed at the university maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and it also showed at NIPA Edinburgh University. And like I do like Q&As and take the conversation there, and I could share that with you as well. But to answer your first question about why I chose to do this, I was trying to solve a problem, and the problem is, as a creative individual growing up in St. Vincent from a not so affluent family, I didn't see how to make use of this creativity. And everything around me told me it's a waste of time. It doesn't make sense. But I happen to be a little smart as well, so I did the whole journey, and I went to like the top schools in Vinci and did what they said to do. And I feel because I was able to do that, I say, let me give myself a chance. And I decided to focus on this creativity, and it bear fruit, and it's been bearing fruit. And in my own way, it's been a testament of like, just believe in yourself and kind of like, seeing what you could do.
All right, so Chill Bill, over to you. So you're a full-time, you're full-time in the sector that you're in. It's not like a part-time activity for you.
No, it's not.
So explain that for me, because I know that can't be easy as well. So explain that for me.
It was not easy at all. But what I would say is having parents who believe in you is very important. That helped me a lot because it rough. Like you can imagine coming out of school and everybody saying, "Why you ain't going to study?" Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And your sister gonna study, and your friends gonna study, and say, But having parents and friends who understand, like people in it too, who understand what is going on and believe in you, it's very important. So that helped me a lot. Yeah, I would say, they got my manager, Dianna. He is very supportive. Yeah. Thank you.
Now, Hayden is a little different in that Hayden has the academics and he has also ventured into the arts. So, Hayden, from your vantage point, why did you venture into the arts? Because I think you could have been very comfortable in just with your academics, right?
I couldn't be.
You couldn't.
No. Like actually, there's always this passion that drives you. It's something that calls you because you are so interested in exploring nuances in music and culture and to really pen it and express it. You know what I mean? So I see myself more as a writer. So I tend to channel my emotions on paper. And this is a way of therapy for me, really. So I couldn't just work as a environmentalist and not sing because then where would I find the creative outlet to express myself? You know what I mean? I think for me is finding a way to express what I want to say without having to say it, you know, in a sort of academic way, but in a more artistic, creative way. Because I am an academic, you know, and I write academically, but I wanted some other outlet to channel that creative sort of emotions and make it into something that was beautiful. And music was that outlet for me.
Okay.
All right. I was gonna ask about this may be for Ackley and for Hayden specifically, because Joshua, you just mentioned the support of your parents and your friends. I was about to ask, what has the support been like? Because as whenever you're doing things like creating and being involved in sports, oftentimes the support from your friends and family, it's not there, or you may get support from strangers more than the people that you know and love. So Joshua mentioned that his parents and friends are very supportive. So what about you, Ackley and Hayden? When you mentioned to your family, I'm going to sing, or I'm going to make films, how do they respond? What was the response, like?
As a child growing up in Vinci, my family always celebrate my ability to draw, like they 100% celebrated. And even when it came to like school and all of that, like they allowed me to have the freedom to choose what I wanted to focus on. And when I did good, they were like, yeah, it's good, you know. But I feel like that lasted up until maybe like university, like when I finished community college and I decided to go to UE to study film. That started to like wave a flag because we as a community don't know how to monetize film, much less invest and become an academic in filmmaking. Like it's not a thing that people really understood. And I didn't settle for like the immediate, gratification of a job in St. Vincent. I mean, I've worked at IKTV, I've worked at, different, situations, but I didn't really like think that this is the place that I could go. And what I kind of like stuck to was, well, it was two things. I wanted to like be able to live in St. Vincent and be a part of this thing internationally, right? And I also wanted to be a Vincentian and be qualified to participate in this thing professionally wherever I go. And one of the big motivators was the fact that we had Pirates of the Caribbean filmed here. And when it was happening, I was working at First Caribbean, like wasting my life, becoming, like doing the night. No, anyway. I take that
He
back.
was happy to be employed at the time, all
And
right?
I was like, no, I was super happy, right? But then I was like, like in retrospect, I was like, what was I doing? Because I should have been pursuing getting to that set and being a part of that. But my mind was still real Vince, in terms of like what was expected of me.
All right. So the question for all three of you, do you think that your full potential is stifled here in Vinci?
Yes. I'll answer the first question and then your question, Roleza. Roleza, sorry. I actually went to university when I was 19. So out of college, did my degree in forest engineering. Although my mom wanted me to pursue medicine, and to her dismay, I did not follow through with her wishes. So for her, me doing music was just me exploring another side of me. So she never saw it as a profession per se, but a passion project, as it were. Um, in St. Vincent, the enabling environment for music, video, movies, it's very limited. You know this, Diana. And so there's so much you can do with the budget that you offered and with the resources available. And so I feel like if at some point I have maxed out my potential in St. Vincent, um, needless to say, there are a lot of persons who can find areas in St. Vincent that they can plug into and become creative, like Joshua, for example, who's doing it and doing it effortlessly. But in terms of opportunities for marketing, for for promoting your work, and I must have been Vincent are not the most supportive of their own, to be honest. And I wish that wasn't the case. But actually, maybe you have a lot to say about that, so I'll leave it over to you.
I can wait for that.
I think yes and no. I would say yes because we do have the opportunities like what would be overseas. However, the world is now a global community. You know what I mean? So social media helps out a lot, especially for my music. It helps out a lot. My most streams doesn't even come from Vinci, so yeah, social
Exactly.
media really, you
Yeah, I
know.
was gonna ask about them streams later, though.
Yeah,
But okay.
yeah. And to support what Joshua is saying, I looked at my analytics recently, and my biggest audience is in the USA and the UK.
Yep.
Okay.
And in fact, one of my songs, "Feel Him in My Soul," was #1 on the iTunes reggae charts in Colombia.
Okay, lovely.
Okay. So
Wow.
let me give my 2
Yeah,
cents.
Akli, you have to take a deep breath. Go ahead, Akli.
Well, like I said, I was born in the 80s. I'm a little younger than you.
Best decade, by the way, but go ahead.
I know, best decade.
I concur. I concur.
That's why I said I'm a little younger.
Joshua,
than
we
you.
out.
And I guess for me, it's been a journey, right? Because like I said, I made 2 challenges to myself, which is I wanted to be here and do it, and I wanted to be from here and be a part of this global thing. And I've had all kind of journeys with it, bittersweet, emotional, all kind of thing. Go crazy, come back sane, But and I agree with Hayden and I agree with Joshua as well. But this is what I would say. As a person who have been trying to figure it out from here, I've been sort of like pig-headed and chosen not to migrate, like 100%. But that doesn't mean when the opportunities come through, I don't jump on that plane and get out of here and come back. I come back, right? And like even right now, like I'm thinking about like what do I do next, or and I feel I'm grateful to be able to be in that situation in St. Vincent because I know when I started to have these ideas, I was leaving St. Vincent from E.T. Joshua, right? And the amount of progress that I see since those days, because to tell you the truth, when I was leaving to go to study in Cuba, I was in the departure lounge in E.T. Joshua, and the water come in and flood the whole place. I had to go up on the bench on the train and then rebook my flights for the whole, And I feel like it's been a journey for me and it's been a journey for the country as well. And I think if you look at things in a certain kind of way, you could see that there is great potential here. So like I say, we have the airport, and right now it's getting cheaper and cheaper. Well, to travel internationally, we want it regionally now, right? That would be better for me because I have a lot of people I would like to collaborate with and potential clients next door. So I could go close by and come back because that's what I want to do. I don't want to go here and stay away.
Right.
Facts.
I want to go and come.
Your base is still here.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. And the reason why I think this is important for somebody like me is that I can sell my professional skills internationally. So I'm a trained director of photography for film and television, and that I could use those skills in any kind of way, in any place, because it's a universal skill set, and I go right. But when it comes to being a director producer and creating the content that really gets me into places that kind of like propel me to become, like maybe internationally great, hopefully, if that's the choice that God wills, that has a lot to do with being here. It has a lot to do with being in St.
And-
Vincent, understanding the value of St. Vincent. And to be honest, when I started to make these personal projects, and Hayden could tell you after he see them, when I started to make them, I would make them and put them on YouTube for the community, because my films are always kind of like it's a kind of like cultural activism stance to say militantly, let's love us, let's focus on
Right.
us, let's give us, put us in the media. And so that's kind of what I focus on, to educate or to educate this community here. It so happens, even when you put it out there for free, people don't necessarily gravitate to the projects until some press release come out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the thing get reshared.
Yeah.
And I used to be so negative about that, right?
Yeah.
I used to be in my feelings and why we don't like
Yeah.
and I started to be gentle with me, and I started to be gentle with my people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And this is what I realized. How dare me expect you to value this thing I'm doing locally? Let me finish.
Mhm.
Right? When you, just like me, have been consuming through these global channels of distribution and consumption that sort of like are markers and checkpoints for what is considered good and what is considered value, right? So how dare me think that my people will just say, yeah, well, you're good. Let me support you. I have to learn how to work with the people and work with the times. And to work with the times, you have to be able to say, well, if you're good, then you must be exhibited in the good spaces. And then the people will say, boy, seems like it was underestimated, you're real good.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
to hold out long enough, I think maybe you could get to that space, but then is back to Razam Shallow. It's full fight
Fight on.
It's
Okay.
perseverance. You have to find a way to root yourself, in your own sense of why are you doing this, why it's important, and how to
Yeah.
do it, or else crack or smoke it.
I think part of it also goes back to because, okay, so we're not necessarily bombarded a lot with local, right? Especially in your case.
Well,
And that's why it is I asked
seasonally we
you,
are.
right? Okay, well, no, not so much music, but in terms of what you do, that's why I had to ask you, where is it that persons can go to view your documentaries? Because of course, we're looking at more Americanized televisions, Americanized programs. So part of the non-awareness of, let's say, who you are and the things that you produce, and I'm speaking about all of you actually, part of it goes back to maybe the platform that's used, because like your friends and your family, because they're close to you, they would know of your progress. But for the wider community, as you said, and I'll be honest, I did not know about you until you came out in the media in an article, right? So, I mean, sometimes it's that awareness that we just genuinely don't know. And it's not that we don't want to support, but we just genuinely aren't aware of persons.
And as creatives in St. Vincent, especially if we're interested in developing creative businesses, projects, products, you have to understand that, yes, we live in a challenging environment where our people don't understand how to value this thing. So that means you have to become a little bit more creative and also take a wider responsibility for yourself. Like a lot of young people in Vinci, and that's not to criticize the young people, there's also a systemic problem. But a lot of young people don't even have bank accounts. I was telling a youth man the other day, he's like, oh, I want travel and thing. I say, well, you're going to need a little Visa debit card, because sometimes when you go to pay for it, you think they say, oh, we're not taking cash. And these are things that when Hayden speaks about creating an enabling environment, these are the things that our leaders and our community, supporters are supposed to encourage us to participate in, to empower us in this way, to know which things we need to focus on in order to enable us. I feel like my experimenting, and I've seen Hayden do it, and I'm about to see this brother do it. I find you kind of have to piece a way together. But it's also important for us to now teach the people in the community how to do the same thing. And that's a big part of what I've been doing as well. I'm big on education, not just emancipation education, but literally, there are these softwares, there are these tools that are digital that we can use, and you can make money from them. Look at where we are. We're in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We sell paradise, right? That's a money-making machinery if you figure it out. And there's so many ways to do it. There are weddings to photograph, all the celebrities that come to Mustique. There's all kind of ways you could monetize this thing, but We have to know how to do it.
Absolutely.
Because you know how Vinci people stop.
Yeah.
No,
So
we try
Akli,
as well. We
Everybody
try to change that as well. But you speak about the enabling environment. Oh,
I wanted us to take a
quick
break.
break. Okay.
Yeah, I want us to
Sorry.
take a short ad break and then we will be right back.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
Get eye candy at Quartz Optical, where you not only look stylish, but save on top designer brands like Armani, Ray-Ban, Kate Spade, and more. Get up to 35% off frame and lenses on credit and 20% off frames and lenses on cash purchases. Don't miss these sweet deals. Wear it now, pay us later. Up to 18 months plans available. Book your appointment online today at quartzoptical.com. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Offer ends October 24th, 2024. Conditions apply.
Do you want to feel clean or refreshed after using the bathroom, whether at home, work, or play? Welcome to My Smart Toilet Seats. All of our products wash your private parts after using the bathroom without the use of your hands. Let's hear what our national table tennis champion, Damian Dublin, has to say.
I tried it and it works. There are 4 options. Simply add an attachment to your existing toilet seat, or choose a non-electric seat, or better, an electric seat that washes and dries you with warm water and air. Lastly, get a complete smart toilet that also flushes itself. What are you waiting for? Get your smart toilet seat today. Be smart, be refreshed, be clean, be a winner like me.
Our smart toilet seat is available throughout St. Vincent at retail outlets with the orange flags. You can call us at 457-1703 or visit our website at justwashit.vc.
Pack your bags because flights from St. Vincent and the Grenadines to JFK, New York are now available with JetBlue. Ready for your new adventure? Fly from Argyle International Airport to JFK in New York and enjoy super low introductory rates. It's the perfect getaway at the perfect price. Discover the comfort, style, and award-winning service that JetBlue is known for. Whether it's that long overdue family trip, a business journey, or a weekend escape, JetBlue has you covered. Hurry! Seats are filling fast. Book now at jetblue.com and be part of this exciting new chapter in travel from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Music Professionals Inc., SVG AMP Inc., is inviting interested persons, including children 9 and up, to participate in its upcoming songwriting and music production workshops. Participants will have an opportunity to perform on the big stage at 4 concerts. The workshops, which begin this October, are being funded by the Government of Canada through the Canada Fund for Local Initiatives, CFLI, as part of a wider project being undertaken with SVG AMP to raise awareness about sexual and gender-based violence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Interested persons can contact SVG AMP Inc. members via WhatsApp at the following numbers: Marva O'Brien Morgan, 784-431-2038, Geoffrey Venner, 784-532-7621, Lance Chapman, 784-498-0967, and Dexter Rose, 784-432-5555. Interested persons can also attend and register at the venues on the dates announced for the sessions. The first session will be held at the SVG Teachers Credit Union Conference Room in Pauls Avenue, Kingstown on Saturday, November 2nd, 2024 from 10 a.m.
WEFM is SVG.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Explicit, boy.
All right, WeFM family, we are back with Activated Mornings on WeFM with Roleza and Dianna. At this time, we are conducting an interview, and it is entitled A Conversation with Creatives, New Songs, Films, and Award Nominations. In our studio, we have with us Joshua Lewis, aka Chill Bill, and Ackley Olton. And joining us online is Mr. Hayden Billingy. They're all creatives, singing, making music, making films, all of that, right? All things creative. They are a part of that. So we're going to head right back into our conversation. Remember, if you want to make a contribution, you can call us 457-9997. That is direct or through WhatsApp. You can also message us on WhatsApp. Same number, 457-9997. Right. So, Roleza, when we were heading out, you had a question. Let's go back to you.
So I have the question, but I think only one person might be able to answer the time. We would continue the conversation. Hayden has sent a message. We would have to continue the conversation at 9:20. All right. So question. We spoke about actually brought up the point about having an enabling environment. What, in your opinion, can be things done to encourage that enabling environment? And I'm more thinking, a question for everybody, actually, all persons.
I want to take a stab at it, Roleza.
Go right ahead.
Because I feel it's a plethora of initiatives that have to come into play to ensure that happens. And I think one of the things you have to start with is, how do we view cultural expressions and creativity? Is it just a passion project? Is it a career move? And we have to start looking at training people in these areas and also advocating that these careers are necessary and can create some kind of financial incentive for pursuing them. And that has to be within the educational system through a policy initiative, first and foremost. Secondly, I think we have to look at creative loans. How do you provide loans for creatives who need an extra financial boost with low interest or deferred interest, where you pay a 1 year later? We have to also look at creatives as small businesses. Normally, when you talk about small business and entrepreneurial support, we look at people who doing batik and doing craft, and they never look at creative as a small business and how they can support this small business through entrepreneurship development. We have to also look at how do we provide duty-free concessions and tax breaks for creatives. Our equipment costs a lot. You want to create a studio, it costs you thousands of dollars. It costs you additional thousands of dollars to produce an album. Actually, your equipment, I know your equipment are very expensive, your camera, all of your stuff. How do we create those environments to support people like us who may not want to, pursue a traditional career, but see creative outlets as a means of earning an income? We have to also help with stuff like, how do we receive payments? PayPal is not even an option for receiving payments in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Small businesses cannot thrive in this competitive global space if we cannot have options for payment beyond just bank transfers and MoneyGram. PayPal has to be an option for young, upcoming, and seasoned creatives for payment option. I remember when during the volcanic eruption, I did some filming, and I actually was approached by a company out of Germany who wanted to use my image for CNN and other news outlets, and the option was PayPal. I had to ask a friend of mine in Canada for his PayPal to get paid. I mean, in this era of modernization, why are we still blocking that sort of payment option? These are some of the enabling environments.
It's a more of a legislative issue, though, so I don't want to make it sound as if they are blocking it, but it's a legislative issue.
And it's international as well. It's not just on our side.
Yeah,
PayPal
but
itself
has
the requirements that we need to.
Yeah, they are trying
but
to.
St. Lucians, Trinidadians are receiving payment via PayPal.
Okay.
And Grenadians as well.
Sure.
Because my producer in St. Lucia, I pay him via PayPal.
And it's not a US account?
No, it's a
Okay.
local St. Lucian account.
You sure? You know, no US address.
Yeah,
No.
that's okay.
No,
All right.
no,
Okay.
no, no. We are quick to make excuses for things that are deterring and blocking development because we are trained to defend things. That is our problem.
No, it's what. No, I think that it really is a legislative issue, and there are several Caribbean countries that's on the list, right? So that's why I have to ask if it's not a US account.
No, ma'am.
All right, okay, I would find out. I'd find out. Okay.
Just a little plug there. There's
Yeah.
another platform called Payoneer.
Mm.
www.payoneer.com. It's like PayPal, but it's not PayPal. You could research it to find out if you think it's safe or But I was doing some consulting to build a website because I wanted to set things up in a certain way, and it was a thing that was suggested to me to get around the challenge of dealing with PayPal. So I agree with Hayden. You have to deconstruct the challenges, and you notice what I say, right? I don't say problems, like the challenges, because from the time you say challenge, it means you're in a mindset to confront it, right? So you have to deconstruct all of these challenges that stand in your way to get things done and really see what you have at your disposal. Because we're living in the future and we should be entitled to certain things. Elon must bring out the car and the robots.
All right. So we have to take a break at this time. Hayden, would you be able to come back at 9:20?
I will be able to come back, yes.
You will be able to come back? All right. So full team, gang, we will join back at 9.
No gang.
Oh, Lord. We will join back at 9:20 and to continue this conversation. All right?
Great.
Right then. So there you have it.